I'm not here today, but I do want you to continue with math. So as you listen to this video, you can take notes just like we normally do. If I'm starting to go too fast and you feel like you can't write down all the notes, go ahead and pause the video, copy it down, and then hit play again. Okay, so we've been changing our fractions when they don't have common denominators to common denominators, and that's what we're going to do today too. The only difference is we're doing some subtracting instead of adding, which is what we've done the last 2 days. Okay, so the first part, I'm just going to go over what we do with subtraction when we have common denominators. So I look at this first one right here, and I notice I have the same denominator, which means I can subtract. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So that one is going to be 2/5. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, I notice with my subtraction, I have common denominators, 8 and 8, so I don't have to fix them. So I'm going to do subtraction now. So I have 5 minus 7, but I can't do that, 5 minus 7. So I have to borrow from the 3, make that into a 2, and then I need to add an 8 over 8. And remember, that's really this 1 over here, that black 1, and I chose 8 over 8 because that's what my denominator is. So now when I add those two together, I have 13 over 8. So my real number is a big 2 with 13 over 8. I'm now able to subtract, which gives me 6 eighths. 13 minus 7 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 6/8 is going to be the answer to that problem. Remember, borrowing is a very difficult skill. We went over it last week, but this week we're going to do it as well while we have to change our common denominators. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do this problem here, okay? I have 5/6 minus 1/2. My denominators are not the same, so I'm going to have to change that. So my first question is, can I take the smaller denominator, which is this 2 here, and can I turn it into a 6 by multiplying? The answer is yes. If I multiply the bottom by 3, I'm going to get 6. If I do that to the bottom, I have to do that to the top. And 1 times 3 is 3. Now I have 5/6 minus 3/6, which I can do. Keep my denominators the same. 5 minus 3 is 2, and that is going to be my answer. Come to number 2 here. I have a 6 and a 3. They are not the same, so I'm going to have to switch that. So I'm going to look at my smaller number, which is the 3 here. Can I turn a 3 into a 6 by multiplying? The answer is yes again. So I can turn that into a 6. 3 times what gives me 6? Multiply that by 2. If I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. 1 times 2 is 2. Now I have the same denominators and I'm able to subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2, and I keep my denominator the same. Hey, look, we got the same answer. All right, a couple more here. My denominators are not the same. I have a 3 and a 4. Can I turn that smaller number, which is a 3, into a 4 by multiplying? No, I can't. So I need to smash them together. 3 times 4 is 12. So those are going to be my new denominators here, 12. Okay, so now I have to ask myself, 3 times what gives me 12? 3 times 4. If I do that to the bottom, I have to do that to the top. 2 times 4 is 8. All right, I'm going to come down here. 4 times what gives me 12? Times 3. If I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top too. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I have common denominators and I'm able to subtract. 8 minus 3 equals 5. Keep my denominator the same. Come over here. All right, different denominators. Can I turn my smaller number, which is that 2, into a 5 by multiplying? No, I can't. So again, I'm going to smash them together. 2 times 5 is going to be 10. So my denominator for both of them will be 10. Now I have to fix my numerator. 2 times what gives me 10? Times 5. If I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. 1 times 5 is 5. Come down here. 5 times what gives me 10? times 2. If I do that to the bottom, I got to do that to the top. 1 times 2 is 2. And now I am able to subtract. 5 minus 2 is going to give me 3, and I keep my denominator the same as 10. Okay, now we're doing the same thing, except we do have whole numbers that are next to our fractions. I'm not even going to look at them right now. Okay, I'm focused on my fractions. So I'm going to act like the big whole numbers are not there. I have a 3 and a 4. Can I turn the smaller number, which is that 3, into a 4 by multiplying? Nope. So I'm going to smash them together. 12 and 12. 3 times 4 gives me 12, which is my new denominator. So let me go back and let me fix. 3 times what gives me 12? Times that by 4. Times the top by 4. 2 times 4 is 8. All right, come down here. 4 times what gives me 12? 3. If I do that to the bottom, do it to the top, 2 times 3 is 6. All right, now I'm able to subtract my fractions here. Okay, 8 minus 6, that's going to give me 2. Keep my denominator the same. But now the only other step I have to do is subtract my whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2. So my answer is 2 and 2/12. Last but not least, okay? I'm going to look at my denominators here. I have a 4 and an 8. Can I turn that smaller number into an 8 by multiplying? Yeah, I can. So I'm going to make it an 8. What did I do to the 4 to get me to an 8? Multiply by 2. If I do it to the bottom, I got to do it to the top. Times 2. 3 times 2 equals 6. Now, I don't have to touch 1/8. The reason is I already have that common denominator here. I only have to change one of them. So I like that because I, don't have to do that second step. 6 minus 1 is 5. And I have 8. 5 minus 1, my big whole numbers, is 4. So my answer is 4 and 5/8. Awesome. You have now finished watching your math notes video. If you listened to it all the way and didn't finish copying down your notes, go ahead and I'm going to zoom out here so you can see all of it. And you can copy down your notes so that you have them for tomorrow. On your homework today, I would like for you to pick 5 from one side and 5 from the other side. If you feel like you want more practice, go ahead and do all of the problems. But tomorrow, when I look at your homework, I'm looking for 5 on one side and 5 on the other. I hope you have an awesome day.